this is not the only criticism that I have seen of this new Google Plus system, and I think these other criticisms are valid. And watching another video, it's kind of gotten even a little bit more disturbing for me, because I know that YouTube is very concerned about the comment section and helping people take power into their own hands to fight back trolls. And so now there is the option to delete replies to comments that you have made on other people's videos. I saw this video, I'll link this below, in which this guy, he noticed he made a comment on a person's video saying, "Can you read this?" And then someone else made like a weird face emoticon. He hovered over that comment and he had the option to delete that person's comment to his comment. Like, I know they made that option with the intention of being able to delete replies to people that are very offensive and threatening and etc, etc, etc. But then that also gives the power to the trolls, where a troll makes a very stupid comment, a lot of people make a rebuttal, and then that troll can just delete all of the comments and it looks like no one ever replied to them. I know that BookTube doesn't have that issue, but I think that the way that function works is kind of dangerous and can be disastrous. I mean, as long as a troll makes a really offensive comment and he's the first one and it doesn't get filtered out by the weird filtering spam thing, which sometimes doesn't work, it can just be the only comment there and no one can ever know that people actually replied to them, and it's just really weird. And so I have seen videos where people were trying to say that it wasn't that bad and people just need to get used to it. Yeah, sure, Google made a mistake in not telling people about this, that this was going to happen, or warming people up enough for this, or, really elucidating people on really what the changes were going to be and how they're going to impact them and all this other stuff. And he made the point that, this could be a really good thing after all, and that it's a really good move for Google to combine it with Google Plus, and it needed to happen. And one of his examples was that he made a video, and one of the things is, you can see all the comments, and what happens is, essentially, all of your comments that are made on a video are really put on your Google Plus video post, and they're all there or something like that, or that stuff is there and then they just happen to be reflected in YouTube, or I don't know. All I know is, essentially all comment hosting is now on Google Plus, and it's no longer intrinsic to YouTube necessarily, and that really is weird. So what can happen is, I post a video and then, my friends we can all comment on it, and then we can have a conversation on it, and then someone else can say, hey, I found this video. They post it on their own Google page, and then all of their friends comment on it, and then their comments underneath that post that's posted on, that's shared on another Google Plus page, can also be reflected in the comments in YouTube. So that is what Google Plus is doing when it's integrating YouTube comments, is enabling that to happen. A person shares a video on their Google Plus page, that conversation on that person's Google Plus page is kind of also represented and reflected in the YouTube comments, and that's what this linking is really doing. And this person that highlighted that functionality said, it's a really good thing, so I can see where all the bad comments are coming from. They're coming from this community, and so now I can trace it back, and now I can have more feedback. And if you want that type of feedback, great. But the thing is, someone can take my video and then post it on Facebook, and they can have their own conversation about my video, and I don't see that conversation. And I'm okay with not seeing that conversation. People can have their own inner social conversation about that video, and that's their right. I don't need to know everything that people say about me if they're not willing to post it under comments under my video. That's their right to have their own conversation about my video and not let me know what they're talking about. It could be all good things, it could be all bad things, but that's their right to have their own private conversation in their own social circle about my video. That's their right. And to kind of act like this is something that YouTubers necessarily want or have been demanding or would necessarily benefit from, I don't know. It's I don't necessarily care if, you know, people have their own side conversation about my video. If I don't know about that, I don't know about it. And I'm not really crying a river that I don't get to see that. For that functionality, I would have never taken on all of these complications to get that functionality, because I never really wanted that functionality. I mean, if they wanted to share their conversation about my video with me, they would have commented on my video. But if they're not doing that, then I don't see why YouTube is kind of being insistent that I see it, or that it links up to the original video. Taking all these YouTube comments and forcing people to have a Google Plus account to make a comment is making it seem like people are using Google Plus more than they really are. So if I just made a Google Plus account just to make a comment, then, you know, all the people who had the Google Plus project say like, oh my god, so many people signed up for Google Plus, and look, they're posting on other people's posts and comments, and we're seeing all these conversations. But when people are just doing it on one site, and if it wasn't connected, it wouldn't have counted. Like, people are not actively using Google Plus. People are using Google Plus as a side effect. You know, if people didn't have to use Google Plus to do something that they were already doing, then they wouldn't be using Google Plus. So to act like, it seems like they're going to use this as an excuse to act like Google Plus is a success and that it really does connect people, when it's not really. They're just forcing it to be. It's like, you know, people being resentful that, you know, people aren't riding on the sidewalk, so they're going to shut down the highway. And then, see, everyone's walking. We successfully convinced people to walk to work instead of using gas guzzling cars by shutting down the highway. Well, people had no choice, so it's not necessarily reflective of you change people's minds or you enlighten people on the functionality and worth of Google Plus. It's like you force people to use it, and you've made it that is the only way they can do something that they always have been doing. This underhanded ways that they're trying to get people to use their products. And of course they'll turn around saying everyone's using our product because we're awesome, when it's mostly because they're twisting people's arms. And one really weird thing that happens if I try to comment, you know, I log in in the Firefox browser, and I click to make a comment, and a pop-up comes up with a 404 error. That's what happens. Like, I can't comment.